Enjoy this short presentation on the Progressive Era.
During the time period 1890 and World War I, Americans adopted the political name Progressive. The Progressive Era was the emergence of this group. The Progressives were found in all regions, races, and classes. They held the firm belief that America needed a new social consciousness to cope with the rush of new economic and social problems. But this wasn't a unified movement with a definite set of principles. It was a collection of reformed communities, often fleeting uniting citizens under a political host and through professional and religious organizations.
During the Progressive Era, issues arose in 4 different places: local communities, statewide, nationwide, and in intellectual and cultural groups. So, welcome to A Blast into the Past! And today we'll be talking to Jane Addams from the Progressive Era.
Hello, I'm from the Progressive Era, and during the Progressive Era, I was involved with the local community issues, including improving healthcare education, child labor that lasted 8 hours long a day, and reforming urban politics.
Wow, that sounds rough.
Yeah, I thought so. So I wanted to change this, and I created the Hull House. The Hull House helped the urban poor. It established daycares for mothers.
Now that's what I call a real hero.
I didn't stop there. Florence Kelly and I created the National Consumers League in 1891. The NCL is a non-profit organization that provides government, business, and other organizations with the consumer's perspective and concerns, including child labor, privacy, food safety, and medical information.
Sounds like your accomplishments were a big success. After all, the NCL is still around today, and many child labor laws were created after your ideas were spread. Now that is today's information on A Blast into the Past. Tune in next week for our next episode.
Bye! State issues during the Progressive Era included limiting power of railroads and other corporations, direct democracy, improving civil service, applying academic scholarship to human needs. James K. Vardaman and Hoke Smith legalized segregation in hope of fixing the problem of disenfranchisement of African Americans. This led to failure. This political cartoon shows a man being crushed between low wages and high rents. It can be assumed that the guy is a common workman, since this class suffered the most during the Progressive Era due to poor working and living conditions.
So Woodrow Wilson, what did you decide to do about all the national problems at hand?
First, I launched an all-out assault on high tariffs, banking problems, and the trusts. In 1913, I supported the Federal Reserve Act. This act established a system of district banks coordinated by a central board. The Federal Reserve System made currency and credit more elastic.
So how were these policies of yours a success?
Well, the process of getting rid of the high tariffs helped the urban poor, and the elasticity of the currency also boosted our economy.
Nice talking to you.
You too. Theodore Roosevelt was another key figure during the Progressive Era nationally. He faced issues during his presidency such as trust busting, conservation and Western development, and national regulation of corporate and financial excess. One of the many acts Roosevelt passed was the Hepburn Act ICC in 1906. This gave the Interstate Commerce Commission, ICC, the power to set maximum railroad rates and extend its jurisdiction. Passing this act, Roosevelt hoped to solve one of his major goals as president, railroad regulation. As the ICC gained more power to prescribe a uniform system of accounting, require standardized reports, and inspect railroad accounts, the limitation on railroad rates depreciated the value of railroad securities, and this was a major factor of the Panic of 1907. As the nation began to industrialize, the population in the cities increased. People from the rural areas were migrating, and immigrants were immigrating. As the cities got populated, the living conditions worsened. As you can see in this picture, there are many people crowded in the same house. During the progressive time period, this is what the living conditions looked like. This picture is taken by Jacob Riis, a photographer who lived in New York. He depicted the plight of immigrants in reports and photographs. He also wrote the book, How the Other Half Lives, in 1890. This work exposed the crime, disease, and dirt the people living in the urban slums were going through. The status of women was changing rapidly in the progressive era. New jobs were opening up for all women as well. This was a step in the right direction, though once these jobs were accepted by women, were looked down upon. The press and the public came up with a phrase for these women, called the New Woman. The New Woman was supposedly young, college-educated, active in sports, interested in pursuing a career, and looking for a marriage based on equality. Based on this cartoon, you can see the woman who's going out to vote on election day, while the man is staying at home to look after the house and the children.